Can you tell us a little bit more about the background of this exhibition that you made? How did it come into being?
Okay, first of all, thank you for coming here, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to start in the memory of Gulrukh Irai, whose handicraft is exhibited in our exhibition. She is in hunger strike from 2 months, for 2 months. And last evening I heard that she's in coma. And I wish her health, first of all, and I wish her successful struggle and strength for her residency. And about the exhibition, as you probably read in the brochure and in the poster, it is a joint project with Iranian Women Movement Museum and FUAE, Vrije University in Amsterdam. It's my honor to have Mr. Marino School here and Dr. Professor Hale Qureshi. If they are not, and I would not able to do this project, and also Amnesty International and Humanity House. Actually, the idea of this exhibition, not about the Iranian women movement, if we are talking about, if we want to talk about only about this exhibition, the idea of this exhibition came to me 2 years ago when Narges Mohammadi came to arrested and went to Evin prison, and their own and her own twins. She has a twins. On that time, they were about 9 years old, and they sent their children, their kids, to Paris because their father came already to Paris as a political refugee. He is also a political activist in Iran. And when Narges' kids came, they brought me a handcraft of Narges as a gift. And it was a bird and the word of peace. And it is a logo. It is the logo of Institution of Human Rights Defender in Iran. And Narges organized the women committee on this foundation, and I was a member of this. When I saw this gift, the A of the piece missed, and it was in the bird's mouth. I had thought, no, it is a message. Narges asked me, as a bird, to distribute the peaceful message of Iranian women movement. And it came to me little by little, and I started to talk with my brave lawyer, Nasrin Sotoudeh. She was also in prison for 3 years, but at the moment, 2 years ago, she was released. I asked her, is it possible to help me to collect some handicraft from imprisoned women to show to European people, to Iranian people in diaspora, to introduce the Iranian women movement, their peaceful thinking, their life, their willing to be alive, to keep their agency, to do something for life, for continuing their life. And she started to help me to collect this handicraft in some kind of, sometimes, for example, the family of the imprisoned people go to visit them once a week, and they gave them some gift, and they bring this gift to me in some way, and by some friends and passenger or something like this. And little by little, Narges Mohammadi, inside of prison, announced that Mansoureh wants to do this because she found my plan through her husband and through her brother there. And she announced that who wants to help Mansoureh. And I'm happy because all of the imprisoned women from several approach, Islamic, non-Islamic, Baha'is, non-Baha'is, Mujahid, non-Mujahid, reformist, radical, left, all of them say yes to this exhibition. And it was the point of coalition for me. I look at this job as a coalition inside of prison, as a lesson, as a theory, as a tactic for those are outside of prison, has a lot of challenge, a lot of conflict about, for example, the main discourse of women movement, the main discourse of struggling, and in diaspora also. I think you see inside of prison, the people are beside to live together and to want to have a joint job.
Why? Why was that possible in prison? Why was this broad coalition possible, you think?
You know, it is a life. It is a life. It's a kind of life. I have never been in the public ward. Sorry, band ward. Ward. Yeah, I have never. I was in prison, but not in the public ward because public ward is a collective life. Mm-hmm. But in the solitude, you don't have a collective life. Or even in 2000, in the cellule with several people, the life it's not the you know, it's not a collective, and you are not allowed to talk to each other. But in the public world, it's a possibility to talk, to challenge, to speak, to discuss. It is a traditional in prison always, from the Shah time until now. The prison is always a place to exchange the idea, the approach, the ideology. But the difference between women world, women in prison, and political men, it is a little bit different because you know, the women has a lot of things in common. For example, hijab is a common point for making a coalition. Discrimination law, it's a common point to make the discrimination. But, for example, among the political men, activists, who are not focusing on this detail, daily life detail. And this daily life detail together make this coalition. It is the first point. The second point is that I don't want to say something about me, but you know, I started my political life when I was a student, and my background was I was a leftist student. I was a Pishkam member, something like this. But I am not still a political, I am a civil society activist, but I'm proud of my background because my background make me as an activist to stand for equality, to stand for human rights. And I criticize, of course, I criticize a lot of things. So those are in prison knows me, and I know also them. We worked a lot together. They know that if Mansoureh wants to meet something, it's not only to show off or to make, for example, is as a something, you know, something formal. No, it's not. It is showing that yes, we can. We can still stand. However, we have a lot of things in different. We come from different background, but it's the time. If there is necessary, we should to stand for Fon coalition. And it was a message for me. And I am proud of this. And they are, you know, it was very difficult. For example, the first package should, I was expected to have the package in 2017, because in 2017, we are invited, it means Iranian Women Movement Project, because this NGO is a member of International Women Association, Women Museum Association. And in 2017, 8 March of 2017, the EU in Brussels invite this network to introduce all of the members. And I wanted to bring this on that time to introduce Iranian member of this network. But unfortunately, it was not possible because a lawyer wanted to come to Netherlands from Iran, and I asked him as a creditable and as a, you know, he is not a political activist. He is not. I asked him, please bring this for me. But I don't know how the intelligence service understand this, and they didn't permission to transfer, to bring out for me. So the project was stopped. Then we started to find another alternative by some passenger or by post, by DHL, city by city, not directly from Tehran to Den Haag. Sometimes the box turned around the world.
So it went like, and then
yes,
came to you. Yeah.
And I have to say my special thanks to somebody to help me by giving me the address, particularly Yanni and Martin Koster. They are here. And you know, they
Up
are,
there?
yeah, but Martin is not, but Yanni is it. They are a wonderful couple. And whenever the parcel was very big, they called me and told me, there is a paper for you and the parcel. And when the parcel was small, they brought me. And the last one was the parcel of Nazanin Dehimi, the parcel of her, arrived in Netherlands 2 weeks after her death.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have never forgotten on that night, Martin and me cried together. And I told her about this young daughter. She was in prison for 1 year. She was a student. She was a director of theater. She was a player of theater. When she was released, she found that, wow, she expelled from university. She denied to study, to continue her study. It is normal in Iran. It is not surprise because most of young activists, as well as a lot of young students are denied to study, to continue, particularly in the master degree. And you know, 6 years, during 6 years, 5 years, from her release until her death, she was isolated in place, in home, without job, without possibility to study. But she started to translate. And she translates 7 books in play screening about the scenario of movie and fiction. And, you know, and I compare her, for example, with some young people they are here with a lot of possibility, with a lot of support. And, you know, it was something between sadness and proudness because I'm proud of her. Anyway, it is the way, but you know, I can say all of things because it's better to make this secret by ourselves. Everybody can imagine how this package is arrived here. Please make your imagination and please write your story about this. Yeah.
Thank you very much.